Our mission is to get as much plastic out of the ocean as we can. Gutberg has launched and brought to the market the world's first backpack made from ocean plastic. But we are much more than a backpack brand. We establish cleanups. That means that we organize a network of fishermen in Indonesia where we get plastic from the ocean as bycatch, and then we transform this plastic into backpacks. So we want to have this freedom to contribute to the projects and to the things that we want without having discussions on a big board of investors or owners, and that's just a great freedom to have. It's just good advice to get going and then to tweak and to get better when you are already on track, because otherwise you potentially will never get going.
Bonjour, and welcome to Mission First, the podcast to get inspired and to learn from successful entrepreneurs who are building a sustainable future for our planet and its people. I am Gilles Toussaint, your host and the founder of GT Impact, a growth and digital marketing agency working only with companies making a positive difference in this world. Growing a company that aims at having a sustainable impact is not easy. That's why I created Mission First. In each episode, I interview one entrepreneur who has a sustainable mission and who has recently gone through the difficult first years successfully. Together, we discuss their challenges and what they have learned on the way. We go into detail with a specific focus on company culture, leadership, financing, growth, and business strategy. That way, you'll learn hands-on tips on how to build a better future and a successful company too. Today, I had the chance to talk to Benny Mandos, founder and CEO of Gutberg. Benny's company is not just another backpack brand. They have for mission to clean up the ocean, and they get their hands dirty. With their team and a network of 1,500 fishermen, they collect and recycle plastics from the ocean in Indonesia and turn these pieces into various sustainable fashion products. Started in 2016, Gutberg has now more than 30,000 customers. During this episode, we discussed Benny's challenges and what he has learned on his entrepreneurship journey. Benny also shared 8 entrepreneurship do's and don'ts about how to create a sustainable fashion accessory. If you are interested in sustainable fashion and want to hear the entrepreneurship story of a vibrating brand and a founder who has for mission to remove the plastic from our ocean, this episode is definitely for you. Hi, Benny. Thank you very much for being with us today. How are you?
Hi, Jill. Thanks a lot. I'm fine. Really good weather today in Mainz, and so everything's great today.
Thank you very much for being here with us. The weather is also super nice in Berlin. Probably one of the last summer days right now. So you are the founder of Gutberg, that I'm really looking for what to talk about. Can you explain us a bit, in a few words, what Gutberg does?
Yeah, I can do, absolutely. So Gutberg has launched and brought to the market the world's first backpack made from ocean plastic. But we are much more than a backpack brand. We establish cleanups. That means that we organize a network of fishermen in Indonesia where we get plastic from the ocean as bycatch, and then we transform this plastic into backpacks. But we have also a really holistic approach in the area. We seek to talk to the inhabitants, to the people in the area, and raise awareness about the problem of plastic pollution, and try to create an impact in that way. So we're not using only the PET, which we can use for our backpacks, but we also take a look at the whole other ways that we extract or that we get from the ocean, and we also try to find new ways and help with creating a waste management system in Indonesia and in the area.
Okay, great. And to understand a bit about which stage you are right now with the company, what is the size of the company now? How many employees do you have?
Right now we are 31 people here in Mainz, and then we have in Indonesia. They're not our employees, but there's 1,500 fishermen that are operating there, But the core team here is 31 people now.
In Germany?
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of like revenue, to give us an idea of where you are, what can we talk about in terms of revenue, ballpark revenue for last year or for the projections of this year, for example?
Yeah. So I'm not commenting like the revenue, but we have 30,000 customers or supporters who have bought our bags so far and all our products. We had a great and successful year last year, and this year we scaled pretty quickly and introduced new products.
And in terms of profitability, in funding and finance in general, what's in a nutshell? Did you get any like funding rounds, or are you bootstrapped?
We started totally bootstrapped, and we are still up until today. We brought in our own money in the start, and we worked at the time that when we founded the company, we worked our jobs. I had an agency at the time together with my uncle where I worked full time. And started Gutbag as a side, as a passion project on the side. So we just had then 2 years of developing and starting the whole project, and then we kicked off selling the bag in 2018, and then after the first track record and after the first successful sales, we have been fortunate to have a really great support by our bank and also institutions from the government who give us grants and support through loans, and we have been able to scale and to come to the level where we are today without any investments or investors being invested in the company.
And could you say you're already like broke even now? Are you profitable?
Yeah, we've been profitable last year, and we steer the company to be profitable this year as well. So what we just try to do is to optimize our cash flow, to optimize working capital as much as we can, and we have been pretty successful in doing that. So we are now able to get product in and have to pay them after we have sold them, which gives us a positive cash flow, and that's the way we want to grow the company further. We just want to go as far as possible without an investment.
So you can keep the hand on the company totally.
Yeah, in a way, yes. I mean, it gives you just freedom, and it gives you the possibilities that we have and that we want to have in the future. Because I think we just make a lot of decisions which maybe not always are or not beneficial in terms of the thinking of an investor. But then in the end, obviously, want to have a profit. We invest into projects in Indonesia, like with trash booms, where we stop plastic flowing through rivers into the ocean, and doing donations to various other organizations and stuff like that. And so we want to have this freedom to contribute to the projects and to the things that we want, without having discussions on a big board of investors or owners, and that's just a great freedom to have.
That's great. And that's part. How would you define the general mission for because you seem to really care about having a positive impact and a sustainable impact. So what's the exact mission of Gutbag? And maybe is it like different than your own mission?
I think our mission is to get as much plastic out of the ocean as we can, and I think we are really we a company in a way we behave as an NGO. Obviously, of course, we need to sell bags. But we are so many things at the same time. We are an e-commerce brand. We are a fashion brand. We do our own operations in Indonesia, where we behave as an NGO. There's lots of vision in this different sectors. For the cleanups, we have the vision to scale the cleanups further. We want to go to other regions and to other countries to create an impact there. And on the other hand, for the backpack brand, we want to become one of the most sustainable and well-known brand for sustainable backpacks and luggage. And I think that's the vision for the next years.
So great, like a clear and great mission and vision as well. So I think that gives us a very good idea of where you are now and what you do. I'd like to get back to the starts and how you started this company. So I've learned on the company on your looking at your Instagram stories that you were a cameraman before. So how did you go from there to got back starting the company itself?
Yeah, so right as you said, I became a cameraman right after my A level. I didn't go to university. I worked as a camera assistant first, and then became a cameraman. I was shooting all different types of documentaries. Then later on, got more and more into commercials, a lot in sports, been to Olympic Games, to World Cups, and so it was a really, really great time at the beginning of my 20s. And then later on, I founded a production company where we did movies and clips for the television channels. I had previously worked for as a cameraman and also for industry clients or corporate clients. And then I founded together with my uncle a communication agency or an agency where we've done a lot of internal communications for big corporations. My uncle was a change manager before, and he managed the changes in huge corporations. So we combined both talents or both jobs, his management skills, but also his network also obviously, and then we've done e-learning and movies or quick win communications in big projects. And that was a great time as well. But at some point, I've then been in sort of the media world for then almost 10 years, and I felt tired about it. Also, I didn't want to travel all the time. I didn't want to be around people I don't necessarily wanted to spend time with in order. Hoping that they will give us the next gig or give us the next job or stay in business with them, and that tired me in a way. And I wanted to do something that was different from what I've done previously, and I wanted to do something new, and I wanted to do something, what I really wanted to do from my heart, or what. And then I just had also a really tough phase where I was struggling with the things I was then doing at the time, because I just didn't love to run a agency anymore, and then that was the process that started then, and then coincidentally on one of the movie shoots, I was in a car together with an old friend from school, and we were talking about the situation back and forth and anything, and he said, he's kind of in the same situation. He was working as a graphic designer at the time, and he has also done that for almost 10 years at the time. And and then we started to develop ideas, and we both had a background or both had been tied to the ocean since our childhood. Roman grew up in Tel Aviv. He started surfing pretty early. I was linked to the ocean to my father because he was a passionate sailor. And then we knew about the problem of plastic pollution and that there's something clearly wrong. And then this process started, and I think then in the end it was a great coincidence that we then were able to combine our entrepreneurial passion and the passion for nature and for our planet, and then we started.
And so, what are the next steps when you decide to start? What are the first steps to go from let's do this project together to having your first product out there?
Yeah, I mean, in the first place, so we didn't came up with the idea of creating backpacks from ocean plastic right away. We've gone through various ideas. I think that's maybe a normal phase then, or a normal first step, that you just run through various ideas. But there was just it was clear that we want to do something different, that we want to start something together, and then it was just laying awake at night and thinking about possibilities and what we can do, and then there was just this idea rushing into my head at night, and it said Gut Bag, like a backpack brand, a brand that I would love to wear on my shoulders and wear on my back. And so then we had this backpack idea, and then we knew it is possible to recycle PET into yarn, and there's lots of PET in the ocean, and then we thought, why can't we recycle this PET and make yarn and then finally backpacks out of it? And so then we had the idea, and then the next question was how are we able to recover plastic from the ocean? How are we able then to process it and to make a high quality backpack from it? And that was just a process of over 2 years, speaking to partners, finding the right partners, and that was then when the process of the development of the backpacks, of the product started. We needed to find ways to build structures to extract plastic from the ocean. We needed to take a look at how to process, how to recycle this. For us that meant because obviously we didn't have any knowledge in the area, we need to find partners. We need to also read a lot and just get our brains up to speed, and to get an expert actually in recycling and manufacturing of backpacks. And then over the time, we did find the right partners who can help. We could convince to listen to us and to work together with us. And then in 2018, we then had the finished product in our hand and introduced it to the market.
And so this partner that you found, I guess you're talking about your partner to make the bags in Indonesia?
So we are working with various partners. The supply chain is fairly complex. So in total, we're working together with 6 partners who are responsible for different steps in the recycling chain. So what we're doing ourselves is to manage and organize the cleanup. So getting the plastic from the ocean and have a first sorting and cleaning done. And then, as I said, we have a really holistic approach. So we bring the different plastic types into suitable supply chains, meaning the PET portion, that's for our backpacks. Other parts like PP and all different other. Also, you find metal, you find multi-layer plastic, which are really tough to handle. And we've been fortunate by now to have found partners who can recycle this, for example, to bricks, or then for thermic recycling. We just don't want to recover only the PET, and we don't take care of the rest, but we have a really holistic approach to the whole problem in the area. And then the PET part is then processed in various steps, and then finally we receive a pellet from the PET we have recovered, and this pellet is then transformed into yarn. And from this yarn, we then we create fabric, and this fabric is then used for the production of our backpacks.
And there are two things I'd like to understand here: is which part is produced by yourself, and which part is produced by what we call the partners here. So maybe you can answer that part, like first, where does Godback start, and where is the part that you outsource, and even if there are partners that then you I guess you pay them.
Yeah, sure. We're running the cleanups ourselves, and we have done facilities in the area where we have the first sorting and cleaning done, and then we hand over the PET to a partner who is then responsible for the recycling. But this like the procedures that they use, we have the knowledge about it. It's just I think important to mention that we are running the whole supply chain. So all the different partners we have also the knowledge about how they do it, and we have developed it together with them.
Okay, and when you try to find these partners, I can imagine it was something not easy, because you said you had to learn first all these technical knowledge on the production steps of your products. You said you gather the plastic from the ocean, you make plastic pellets, so these small granule, and then they are turned into a yarn, a thread, and then from this yarn you can make the bag. The bag, you make it yourself.
No, there's a manufacturer who's doing that. So
that's also a partner from you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can imagine the first time you have to find these partners. How do you proceed? Who goes how do you split the roles? Who goes there? Do you just travel to Indonesia, and first, why Indonesia? You go there and then you start talking to the people around to say, hey, who can help us recycle the plastic here, and how do we do?
Yeah. So first of all, why Indonesia? So we had also collaborations before in the Mediterranean and Atlantic, but then at some point we realized that we think we need to go there where's the epicenters of plastic pollution, and where's just a high leakage of plastic into the ocean, and we became quickly aware about where we can then create the biggest impact. And then we've been fortunate to get a really great team member. His name is Max, and he has been in Indonesia studying and also doing internship and working in Indonesia before, and he speaks Bahasa fluently, and then he traveled down and did set up the structures. And the supply chain is split, so we cannot do all the steps in Indonesia. The yarn production is done in China, and also the backpack manufacturing is done in China. And we have been also fortunate to find a great sourcing manager through a friend who has been working with him together, and he was a really trustworthy person who then we became in contact with, and he has been able to link us with manufacturers in the area, and then it was just convincing people there that we are much bigger than we were at the time, and that we are potential good partners to get off. And I remember setting up 5 email addresses and texting them from different email addresses with different names to make the company appear much bigger at the time when we were just when we just were 2 people, and then just saying, but I have to ask them first, and just pretending to be like a bigger company already, and we were just two guys from school basically who didn't know anything about producing of backpacks and negotiating with partners also, and with this kind of tricks and also with the great contacts we had then been able to find the right partners and to convince them to work with us.
What are the learnings from that period? Like, is there some criteria that you take into account for your partners? And is there something specific that you've learned on the way that you would do differently now, or with your experience you would do way more efficiently?
Yeah, I think what we focused on is to find partners which had experience in working with brands that are known for sourcing fairly and producing fairly, and have certifications to prove that as well. Was the right way to go for us to identify people in this industry who are also conscious about fair sourcing, about fair production, and that was important to us. So that's how we then set out to find the right ones.
You're tackling something I wanted to talk about, like certification in general. So I saw on your website you're super transparent. At least you try to be as transparent as possible for your customers, or the potential customers. And you mentioned it, like for your partners all along the supply chain, you try to have these certifications. How do you decide? Like I saw, in terms of certification, you have Ocean Cycle Certificate, you have Blue Design Partner, CEDEX BSCI. You mentioned Fair and Social Work. I don't know if that was a certification or not. So how do you decide which certification you get, or you want to get as a company?
Yeah, I think it really depends, and we are talking about a lot to be as transparent in the different regions and tasks we are operate at. For example, we also now we have a new collaboration together with Clean Hub, a startup from Berlin. They are tracking the plastic that we extract from the ocean, and to give a transparency to this supply chain also. So we want to prove to ourselves, but to the end customers, that the plastic that we use in our bags is from this exact area, has been tracked in this area by the fishermen, and then go through the whole supply chain. And at every point there's a tracking done, which is done by photo. So when a fisherman extracts plastic from the ocean, he takes a photo of it, and there's a gathering point, he takes another photo, and all these photos are then uploaded to a blockchain to give proof later on where's the origin of this plastic and where is it going to. So coming back to your question, for this part of the supply chain, we thought, or we had the feeling that that's the right solution for us to give the maximum transparency. And for other parts like the backpack manufacturing, there are different certificates or different ways to bring transparency and proof. And I think there's really good certificates around. We're really doing intense audits to the manufacturers and to us as a brand as well. So it's just always looking at the different parts of the supply chains, and then judging which certificate or which proof is the best to prove to the end customers, to prove to ourselves what we are doing.
How do you have stories of how important that is for your customers?
I'm actually, to be honest, I cannot answer the question 100% because I'm not knowing it exactly. I'm not sure. We just have the feeling inside our team that it's important to us to have the proof also. I mean, we know our partners by now really well. We have been there several times and visited them. We know who they are, like how they treat their workers, how the workers are living and all that. But besides that, we just also wanted to have the proof by a third party inspection, or like I said just previously with the Clean Up project, to give also the confidence to us. And we are also working with other certification partners in the moment, which is not finished by now, so cannot can tell anything about it at the moment. But I think that we will be able to get it out at the end of the year. So it's just about giving proof also to ourselves. And I think a lot of guys in the team also demand that we are transparent, that we know what we are doing there, because all of the team members here are really just concerned about these topics. That's the one part, and I think the same is true for our customers. They just want to know how the backpack is produced, where it is produced, is the work is fair treated. They want to know where we recover the plastic, and all that. So I think people are concerned about it, but I don't have any proof, or we know from talking to them in social media and stuff that people are concerned about it, but I'm not sure if everyone is concerned, or how important it is for the success of our company. I'm not 100% sure.
I saw on your website you have a gut back sustainability cycle, and that basically shows how from the recycling to the backpack production to when the backpack is sold, that the revenues goes to your main company, but then it's used to refinance some social and sustainable activities in Indonesia. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yeah. I think we want to, by ourselves and also with partners, which we are talking to in a moment, we want to educate and to raise awareness about the problem of plastic pollution. And actually, that is also where we see our biggest impact in the moment, because we recover plastic from the ocean, but every day there's so much plastic flowing in the ocean that the portion that we recover is just a drop in the ocean. And we need to find solutions to stop plastic flowing in this marine system. So we strongly believe by now that by raising awareness in these regions, that we can create the biggest impact. And we see that actually in the past couple of months, past years, that when we are active in the region and we collaborate with fishermen, they become aware about the problem. They start to understand that the rivers in their areas are dead because the plastic is sinking to the soil. And when the soil is covered with plastic, their plants are not able to grow anymore. And when there are no plants able to grow anymore, there's no inhabitant for fish. The oxygen saturation of the river is not sufficient anymore, and then the river goes extinct, and people don't have fish to catch, and these people are really dependent on rivers, for example, there. But the same is true on the coastline, where you had coral reefs before, and these coral reefs are dying because also corals eat microplastics, and they get infected by it, and they go extinct. And the coral reefs also are a big inhabitant for all sorts of marine life, which the people also are dependent on. And these people then start to understand that because of plastic pollution and because of the pollution in general, that what they are dependent on in life is going extinct, and that in the end they would go extinct if we don't change. And that's a really strong incentivation to do something about it. And then they start realizing, and they start talking to their families, they start talking to their villagers, to their communities. And so that's a really strong multiplier. If you have 1,500 fishermen involved, they go to, as I said, to their villages, and then these communities starting to realize the problem. And what we see there is that then from the ground up, there's change happening, because these people then start to talk to the politicians in the area, to the governors, and there's just some pressure then being put on of this decision makers. And we see now, because we are now in talks with the government there, and they are starting to support our project, and they're starting to also then to change and to become aware of the problem, and they started to establish waste management systems, and that's just great to see. And as I said, I think that's where we see our biggest impact.
That's great to hear. And how much time passes between when you start going to Indonesia to the first bag sold?
So the whole from starting the company to selling the first backpack was approximately 2.5 years.
How have you financed that part at the time? Because you had you left your job to do that, and you had to finance it.
No, I during this 2 years, I was constantly working, so I did it all on the side. We've done it on just late nights and on all weekends, which was actually super exhausting. So it was really a tough 2 years. Just to be honest with you, so not really exhausting, getting close to a burnout, exhausting. And so we had been then really proud and really happy when we finally had the final product in hand and introduced it through Kickstarter.
And is that after the Kickstarter and you decide you basically have enough funds to start to stop your work, the job?
So it was like a transition. So we had the Kickstarter, and then what we then had was that we always had some pre-sale cycles. So that was really successful. So for example, we had, let's say, 2,000 backpacks ready, and before we had them here in our warehouse, they already were sold out. And then the next pre-sale started, and that was then the year of 2019. So up until late summer 2019, we had these pre-sale cycles because we couldn't catch up to the demand. And at the time, I was still working from time to time for my agency. But then at some point, I think it was in summer or in late 2019 when I completely quitted the agency, and my uncle is still doing it. He's still working on it, and the agency still exists. But I'm now almost over 1.5 years now, all in Gutback.
In Gutback, okay. What is your biggest learning of the crowdfunding, and is there something you would do differently if you had to start one again? Yeah,
I think if I would do it again, we just had a way too short preparation for it. I mean, we were. So the thing was that we never knew exactly when the first really fixed prototype would be ready. You know, so it's just you wait for a couple of weeks, and then you receive the product. And only when you have it in hand, you know exactly, okay, now we are good to go. We are ready to approach the market with it. So we didn't really plan in advance for the Kickstarter. But then we had the final product in hand, and we say, okay, it's good to go to introduce it to the market. And we say, oh, okay, now we have to try to think how we can set up a Kickstarter campaign and how to do it. And then I think we already submitted the project to Kickstarter, and then started to look into how to really launch a successful Kickstarter campaign. And I think we haven't done the greatest job. Because it's a science of itself. You can do so much in building an audience before and all that. So I think a much better preparation is what I would have done differently. But yeah, I mean, now looking back, it's everything happened as it should be, or as it was, and it turned out to be really good and successful. So there's nothing I'm regretting by now, but yeah, I think preparation, building up an audience before, and have a really like a campaign, and there's also professional agency who are consulting with running Kickstarter campaigns, and I think all of this is good to do.
So did you run out on your own, or did you do it with an agency at some point?
No, we did it by ourselves. We have been talking to agencies, but also and some of them, or the good ones, are also charging quite some money, which we didn't have at the time, which we had put into the research and development and getting first products to Germany, and so we have done it all ourselves.
But it went out pretty well, as you said, with I think so it's 26,000 from the 16,000 euro plan. So like a great step. Let's talk now about the do's and the don'ts that you sent me, on which this time are regarding how to create a sustainable fashion accessory. So thank you very much for sending these to me. And let's start with the do's. The first one is go new ways to find the best and most sustainable solution. What do you mean by that?
For me, it's the most important that we always try to challenge ourselves, always trying to find new and better solutions for everything we do, everything we use, and that's just extremely important to me. That we always be ahead of everything that's available on the market and use it.
And the second one was recycle. I guess so a part of it is pretty obvious given your company, but can you iterate on that?
Yeah, I think that just recycling and reusing the things that we already have, especially for plastic, is just really important. It's important that we stop the production of virgin plastics, and that we in general just recycle more, and the recycling rates up until today are just extremely low in the world, and that's just an important topic. And I think it's you can just build such amazing products from recycled materials, and I think that and it's coming more and more, and which is a good thing. But I think there's much more that can be done.
Okay, and the third one was the product needs to be repairable, multifunctional. How did you come to that one?
Yeah, so especially our first bag, we wanted to have a bag that you can use in all different situations in your life, like going to work, but also in free time. So there's a laptop case in it, but you can remove it if you don't need it, and you go hiking. So we wanted the product to really be multifunctional, and it's waterproof, that you also can use it in heavy weather, and that's just also contributes to sustainability. If you just need one bag for different situations, that's just great, because then you don't need two different ones, and that's one part. And to have the parts on it to be easily repairable, that's also important to us. So we have our gut bag cycle. So if there's anything breaking on your bag, even after a guarantee, you can send it back to us. We will intensify that, and by giving a discount for your next purchase, and then we try to repair the backpacks or reuse the materials, and create new products from it. And that was also important in product development.
Okay, so when people I saw these that you offer these reparation services. So when people send you their bags, you try to repair it, and if you can't, You offer them a voucher, and
if the backpack cannot be repaired, we will recycle it to new products. And exactly right. So in order that, because we don't want people just to throw it away, but we want them to bring it back to send it back to us, and therefore we give a discount on a new purchase, which for us has the value that we increase the customer lifetime value, but at the same time we can also reuse the materials, and then they are not just thrown on into the into general trash, and people don't know what to do with it.
How much of the backpack can you recycle now? Because you said you managed to recycle to reuse it. Can you reuse it like this after make new pellets from it and then reuse it in the next backpack? Yeah.
So the clips and they are recycled and they can be recycled, and for the main material we are also so there's still some development been done about it, but it's possible to do it, so to separate the different layers again and to reuse fabric. And also what we're also looking at is to cut parts and to create new products from it. So there's several ways we are dealing with the backpacks that have been sent back to us.
Okay, fantastic to hear. So one of this part is only possible because it's PET, right? It's not possible to do that with all plastic in general, or at least you need to downcycle it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, you have to take a look at different plastic types. Different plastic types have different capabilities in recycling. But yeah, PET, PP, for example, is capable to being recycled. Other plastic types are just hard to recycle. That's true.
Where have you educated yourself on all these topics of recycling and sustainability? Do you have any specific resource you can share with us that is very useful to learn on that?
Yeah, I mean, we and even today we are working together with experts in the area. So in the moment we're talking with professors and just experts in the area. I think that's the most important and most valuable advice. And then obviously, you have lots of resources out there that you can take a look at. But I think it's a really special area, and I think the best way to go is really to talk to experts who are researching and in the area and also teaching about it.
The last two is make producers think you big. So you already mentioned that a little bit. Do you have any other examples of why is it like that in the fashion industry?
Yeah, I think I told the story before of really pretending to be a big company, and I think it is important because especially in Asia and manufacturers are just used to really run really big productions actually, and especially the good ones, and I think it's just important because otherwise they don't collaborate with you, or they collaborate poorly, and I think that was just an important step to understand how to get in touch with them and how to convince them that what we are doing has potential, and that we are already some sort of a company which is worth talking to.
It never happened to you that, for example, when you said you were explaining all the different accounts that you were setting up for emails to make you look bigger, it never happened that they asked to talk to, I don't know if you created an email for Nicolas, that they asked to talk to Nicolas, or where is Nicolas at the meeting or something?
No, that happened. It didn't happen because I just was contacted via mail at the time, and then I had like an alter ego which I was using a lot. I was Michael also at the time. That was one of my alter egos, and that was the one who was always doing the video calls. So it was a bit crazy looking back, but I think maybe as an entrepreneur from time to time you have to be need to have multiple characters inside yourself, and I could express them by talking to the first partners.
At least you have to be inventive to be able to realize achieve your goals, and I think
I think it's a big learning. Also, coming back to your question earlier, I think it's just about finding solutions to things, and as an entrepreneur, and I think that was one solution.
So about the don'ts that you sent me, you said the first one is don't expect things to go fast when developing a product.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember just that you need to have really strong nerves from time to time, and also because of the time difference. It's just sometimes so exhausting that you only have like a time slot of, normally it's like 6 hours and something where you can just write back and forth some mails, and then it's the next day and the next day, and from days it gets weeks and weeks and this month, and that's just you need to be just patient and don't give up also because it's just it takes time, and communication takes time, and communicating and developing product with other people takes time because they don't understand right away. Then there's something going wrong, and it takes time until you receive the sample and or until you receive a certain part. It gets stuck in customs, whatever, and it's just that's just an also exhausting product, a really interesting an exhausting process, but also a really interesting process. But it just takes time. Yeah.
And when you say don't start selling the product too early, what do you mean by that? And what was the learning, I guess, from that?
Yeah, I think that the first around 200 backpacks that we had, they were really good, but we have done some changes afterwards. And I think it was about to be ready, but I think the backpack we have today is just much better, and is a really competitive product. But the first product didn't have the same quality in a way, and I think it's just good to know whether it's good enough. But it's also, I think, an advice, and it's combined with the next don't is don't to be too perfectionistic about it, but and don't try to be to make the product completely perfect, because I think it will never be perfect. Still today, I always look at some product and I think, okay, we can do this better and that better, and if I would have waited until it's absolutely the way I envision it, I think it would never been introduced to the market.
That's really that's good to know. And when you said that these 200 first backpacks that you sold, when you said what it's the backpacks that were sold to the backers on the crowdfunding campaign, or was it? Do you mean it was already sold in stores or online?
No, that was I think a part was through Kickstarter. the products were not bad at all. They were just not like the same quality, or the quality increased over time. But they were just we were using different clips at the time, so there were just some final touches about the product that we have done over time then. But the product was definitely good to go to market, obviously at the time. But I think as I said, you can always get better, and we still always get better.
Yeah, it's always a difficult part with crowdfunding, right? You want to be able to ship on time your product as well, or not too late, let's say, if you are a bit late. And this is exactly as you said, like you need to be able to release it, even though you know it's not perfect.
Yeah, I think it's just a valuable advice, and I heard it from time to time, and I've read it in one book, which is called Ready, Fire, Aim, and I think in this book the author describes it perfectly, that you need to go at some point, and then you can still aim, and I think a lot of people, and also now when I'm at gatherings and talking to other people who may want to fund businesses, and I just oftentimes also have the impression that a lot of people are always like try to be absolutely perfect with the product they want to bring out, or the service they want to bring out, and I think it's just good advice to get going, and then to tweak and to get better when you are already on track, because otherwise you potentially will never get going.
You mentioned the book, so that's the perfect transition as well to the questions I always ask at the end. So, which book, apart from this Ready, Fire, Aim that I will already put on the resources on the website, which book would you recommend other entrepreneurs like you to read, if not this one?
Yeah, I would recommend two books which are more for not about business, but about your personal handling or managing yourself. The first book is Eckhart Tolle, which is called Now. It's just about how you and how your brain work, and to live in the moment, and why it's really important to live in the moment.
How's it called?
Eckhart Tolle is the author, and the book is called Now, or Living Now. And the second book is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and the book is called, I think, A New Me, and that's a really interesting one. It's a bit in the same direction. Both books just teach you how your subconscious work, how you work, how your brain work, and how you can deal with your emotions, your feelings, and yourself. And that's I think maybe there are a lot of other books I could mention by now, but I think these ones might be the most influential also for my change in my life, and starting what I have started.
Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza I read a book about meditation from him too, but it was a book that was also very, very life-changing to me. That's actually why I started meditation, and how I went as well after to Vipassana, and it really helped me as well. Getting back to the next question, what's the best advice you've been given as an entrepreneur?
I think the best advice is to don't give up, and that there's always a solution.
What's your favorite question to ask candidates during your recruiting process?
I think actually my favorite question is just tell me about yourself and who you are, because I think it's always important for me to get the person behind the CV, and I always ask them to run through their CV, but also at the same time, because the CV is always also their their life in a way, and to tell me in all the different steps in their CV, what they have done also personally at the time, and how they were, and why they moved, and what was behind these decisions. Also, I always like to get to know the people, like on a deeper level if possible. And I always don't like there's like people in front of me are really just totally professional, and I cannot feel like who they are, like on a private level as well.
And what is the training podcast, like blogs or influencers, you would recommend entrepreneurs and people growing a startup like yours to follow?
I've been listening to various podcasts before. I'm currently listening a lot in the Shopify podcast about marketing, products, and stuff like that. I'm also OMR Rockstars. I listen to a lot, and I think this ones I look at a lot. Also I'm from time to time, but infrequently, looking into founder press and founder media, like, I don't know, Gründerszene, and stuff like that. There's also I also look a lot at like TEDx talks on YouTube and stuff like that. But it changes and it varies a lot. Sometimes but I do a lot of research, like when I'm interested in a topic, or I want to increase my knowledge. I'm just absolutely addicted to knowledge. If there's something I don't know, I want to learn about it, and I always look for new ways, whether it be podcasts, whether it be YouTube, Googling and finding new blogs. So I do that a lot, actually. But I would mention like the ones before that I really listened to frequently before.
So thank you very much for your time, Benny, today. Now this is your time to just whatever you want to tell to the people listening to us. If you're looking for new support, people of course who want to like buy your bags and all your products. I think you have more than 8 different products now on your website. So where should they go to find you? That's your time right now.
Yeah. So also thank you very much. It was a really great conversation, and everybody out there, just visit our website got-bag.com. We are looking for people hopping on the team and help us write our story further. If you're interested, go ahead and check out Career and on our site. Besides that, I just want to say, take a look at our oceans. They're really important for us, and without them, we cannot live. So please have that as a takeaway, and thank you and all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much again. Like as you said, without them we die, as Captain Watson said to me, and I'm really happy as well that like you are partnering with them soon. So thank you very much, Benny. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you like this podcast, there are 2 things you can do that would mean the world to me. The first thing is to sign up for the podcast newsletter. That way you will be notified of the new episodes, but you will also get a summary of the learnings at the end of every season. Plus, for each episode, you will get the resources and the list of do's and don'ts that every guest shares with me. And finally, you will also get the opportunity to ask our future guests one question in advance. You can sign up for this newsletter on gtimpact.com. The second thing you can do to be super helpful is to recommend this podcast. For that, you can write a review on Apple Podcasts and share the podcast with your friends, other entrepreneurs, and people trying to build a sustainable future. That way, we can all learn together and work on a brighter future for us, our children, and our planet. Thank you very much, and see you next week for the next episode. Have a nice day.